Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of Spread the Juice. Please make sure you're liking, following, and subscribing the YouTube channel. Follow the Instagram. And today, I've got a really exciting guest, Blu, who's come straight out of the Love Island villa. How are you, Blu?
I'm feeling good. Yeah,
good, enjoying. I'm glad. So how long ago was it that you came out again?
I think just about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Maybe a little bit longer.
Does it feel weird
I came out on the 13th of June.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like... Yeah.
That must have been so difficult when you had to choose who was going. Yeah. I'm not leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving.
When that was said, how did it make you feel? Did you kind of feel like we're going to have some sort of argument here? Or
I was like, right, okay, we're going to have it off here. And I'm going to put my point across, and I'm going to do as much as I can to make sure I'm staying.
Yeah.
Which I did. And everything I did was just followed up by Shay saying, me too. Well, like, it's like, come on.
Have you spoken to him since you've been
I have. I've seen him. Yeah, I like Shay. He's a nice guy. Obviously, we had to fight it out, and it was a bit tense towards the end.
Yeah, but you're cool now.
Yeah, we're cool now. Yeah, we're cool.
So who actually voted you out?
I can't, off the top of my mind, I can't remember, but I know Harry did.
Were you surprised by that?
I was surprised.
Oh
So basically, at the end of the day, it was my decision to say to the Islanders, right, you guys take the vote, and you guys see like who you guys want to stay and who wants to go, and I thought the OGs is gonna have my back.
Yeah, because you're an OG, right?
But they didn't. They picked Shay over him not having enough time, which I just think is not true. I think it was just more like a.
I do think you should have stayed. I can't lie. I do think Shay's cool, but you probably would have done more, I think.
Yeah. I think it was just because of like I had the chance to take one of their birds, basically.
Yeah, and they didn't want that, exactly. So you were shocked by Harry choosing you. So your experience in the villa, talk me through right from the start. So how did you even get into Love Island? Did you apply? Did you get scouted?
Yeah, so I've been told multiple times, you need to go on Love Island. You need to do it. And I'm like, all right. So last year I applied. Yeah. And this year I sent the same application onto someone that put me into contact with my current manager right now.
Yeah, and so Dave Reed, shout out, we love him.
Yeah, shout out Dave. So I messaged Dave, like cold messaged him, and he was like, yeah, sweet, send me your application, I'll put it through. And he put it through, and like a month later I got a call, and I was like, what the hell? Like, what the hell?
And how did you feel when that first call came through?
It was a bit surreal, really. I thought, no way, this is like, also it's a long process to actually get through. So I knew there was a massive process. I was like, oh, whatever. Like, I'm just gonna
might not get through.
I'm just gonna go with it. And so I went with it. Yeah. And 2 months down the line, I get another call, or 2 months down the line, come in for your interview. Like, let's do it. I'm like, well, whoa. Okay,
and how soon, when they tell you you're going on, how soon do you actually go?
So they don't tell you you're going in until like the moment they say to you, you're not in until you're in the villa. Which is hectic. Yeah, I had to like quit work 4 weeks before I thought I might be going in.
Yeah.
So that was like.
So was it literally a few days before they were like, you're gonna fly there, but it's not definite yet?
Yeah. No. So it was like 2 weeks before.
Okay.
They said you got your flights, but we don't know if you're gonna be OG or like the first bombshell.
Oh
and I was like,
God.
I was speaking to my manager, I was like, oh, you've got high chances of going in.
Yeah, as an OG.
So I was like, okay, fine.
So when you walked in, if I remember rightly, the first coupling, it wasn't your choice, was it? It was the girls. Did they choose? How did it work?
Yeah, it was the girls. Yeah. So they get like a bio of the lads. They get the age and the height, which also, by the way, I am 6 foot. I'm not 5'11".
I was going to say, it says online you're 5'11", but when I saw you, I was like, no, you don't seem 5'11".
I'm not 5'11". I don't know what they did there.
That's an exclusive. Let's get that cleared up.
Yeah, that is
6 foot.
Yeah.
Love that. So did they read out 5'11" on the thing?
Yeah.
Did you hear it?
No, you can see it. It's like next to the girl. So the girl goes in there. They choose the boy that they want to couple up with.
Oh
and
God.
then I get out of the cab to go inside the villa, and I didn't realize I was going to walk straight into like
that.
The girls. They're like, okay, just go through here, go through the villa, take a right, take a left. As you get to the door, we'll give you a cue on when to go out. You're going to say hello to Maya Jama. The girls are going to be there. I thought, all right, thought nothing of it.
Yeah, exactly.
So they're like, okay, go. I walked out. I was like, oh, fuck, it's starting.
No, the show has literally
started. Literally started. I was like, all right, sweet. Like, I'm going to just go for it.
And you were with a Lima first, right?
Yeah, so I originally got coupled up with a Lima, and I stayed with a Lima since I left.
Yeah.
And I walked in there, like, trying to compliment all the girls, and it just didn't go down too well. I just had like word diarrhea. Like,
what did you say again? You said all the girls look nice.
Maya asked me, so what do you think about Alima? I was like, yeah, good. All the girls are beautiful.
Yeah.
And that just didn't go down too well.
No,
obviously,
to be honest, I love Alima, but I didn't think that comment was bad. I think that's it's the first time you're seeing everyone, and
also there's a lot of chats we had after, which weren't aired, but like we were cool. We're like really getting along
for sure,
but like it's more platonic, and that was completely
and also
fine.
When you first walk in, just because they've chosen you, it doesn't mean you're automatically married. This is one thing about Love Island, is the girls sometimes get a bit too and I can't say, I mean, when you're in reality TV, as you'll know, it's so intense, isn't it? I mean, I don't know how many days you were there, but it must have felt like
it's super intense. So obviously everyone's in their couples, and I kind of messed up from the get-go. I forgot I was in Love Island. Like normally on my out of Love Island, if you don't like have that click with someone, you're not going to really do anything, right? So I cut it off quite quickly.
Well, you didn't play a game, which is actually a good thing.
Yeah, for sure. I was true to myself. And I've got to stay true to myself. At the end of the day, I'm in Love Island. I should just explore everyone as they are. So I do regret that. Because I did the same with Tony. I cut things off with Tony as well straight away. But like
Tony. Who do you like in the villa right now?
Who do I like in the villa right now? I like Yaz. I think Yaz is great.
I love Yaz. She's so sick, isn't
she's
she?
Good.
And she seems like a really nice girl.
Yeah, she does.
Was she there when you were there?
No, she wasn't. No. It's so annoying. So I left. And then they throw three bombshells that like I would have gone for. And
I can't believe they got rid of you.
I know. It's just. So I didn't have anyone to like vibe back. So everyone was like so focused on their couples, which fair enough. And then I cut it off so soon with mine. I was like kind of like in this like grey area of like, what do I do? Because I can't really. I'm trying to pull everyone. I was pulling everyone for chats. But it wasn't really working because everyone still wanted to get to know their couple, and because it's safe being in the couple.
Well, this is the thing. A lot of people are playing it safe.
Yeah, but now everything's going on now, and it's like, get me back in there.
Are you watching it all?
Yeah.
Who would you recouple with if you went back in now?
I think either Emily or Yaz. I think.
Yeah. I think Yaz is so cool. Like they haven't had someone like that on Love Island before.
Yeah, which she's bringing it, but she also gives it, which is none of the girls in there will give me anything to work with. It was like, and I'm not used to that. Like, give me something back.
Exactly. In London, that's not how it goes for you. So you know so the night you left, when you offered the other islanders to vote, was that allowed? Did the producers say that's fine, or did you not have to pass it by them?
No. So I offered a wrestle match in the garden. I was like, come on, let's have a wrestle up. And they didn't put that in there. Yeah. Shay was like, come on, let's do it.
Did you do it?
No, they wouldn't let us.
Oh right. I
was like, I should have gone. All right, let's rock paper scissors it because that's just more.
It's more fair.
But I thought my boys are gonna have me.
Yeah, exactly. So who did you have bromances with in there?
I didn't really, but I got with Shakira.
No, bromances with guys.
Bromances. Sorry. Tommy. Okay. We had a very nice chat, which like brought us close together.
Yeah.
I didn't really get the opportunity to have more bromances with anyone. Yeah. Don't get me wrong, we all got along like brothers. But it was I didn't have many chats with many of them because I was trying to graft in the girls.
Yeah, exactly.
They're girls, do you know what I mean? So I was like, how can I talk to you about a girl that I'm trying to graft?
No, exactly. No, exactly.
But everyone's doing it, and that's probably something that I should have done because it causes drama, right?
Yeah,
and I wasn't involved in that drama.
It does, but then there's two ways you can do Love Island, I guess. You can kind of look at it as a career, or I'm like you though. If I'm in a situation, I'll forget about all of that, the cameras and everything. I'm just doing what I would naturally do. So I think a lot of boys in there at the moment are quite switched on to like trying to win.
They are. Yeah, they know. Harry knows what he's doing.
Yeah, and so does Dejon.
Yeah,
he knows what he's doing. And there's no disrespect to them, but I don't think Dejon and Meg are gonna last. What's your opinion?
Harrison's trying as well.
Harrison, yeah, he didn't want to let go of Tony because he wanted Helena.
But now he's going back.
Yeah, because Helena wants Harry. What?
I knew that from the get-go.
Yeah, it's so entertaining. Yeah. But Casa is going to be so interesting.
It is.
I want them to throw you back in.
I know. I don't know if it's going to happen.
What, Casa or throwing you back in?
I don't know if they're going to throw me back in because this year's just completely different, isn't it?
It's so different. To be fair,
there's no couples in there, and as soon as someone wants to get close, they're like, right, how many chats? How many?
I know.
Dates has Dejon been on?
I know.
They're trying to ruin that for him.
I know they are trying to do it, but I do think that he did like that girl who's in now. something.
Billy Kiss.
Billy Kiss, yeah.
Yeah.
I was about to say Baby Kiss, but yeah, Billy Kiss.
I think he did as well.
Yeah, I think, but I wish they made the girls choose the recoupling because she would have chose Dejon.
Yeah.
Definitely.
I thought that was gonna happen.
Yeah, me too. I thought it was. What is it like being around Meg and Dejon then? Because from my point of view and from an outsider point of view, it looks like they don't really talk much, but she's just attached to him.
She's been attached since
Day one.
Like,
yeah.
There's no doubt about that.
Yeah.
And I've pulled her for chats, and it's just every boy has pulled her for chats.
Just
You
dead.
don't see it, but she just deads it off. She put me in the brotherhood. I was like, whoa, I'm not your brother.
This is
I'm
a
not your
brother
brother.
island.
I'm
Yeah.
still gonna be pulling you for chats. Don't worry about that.
Exactly.
But yeah, they get along well, but he is a different person when he's with her than when he's not with her. It's
You can
crazy.
see
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
You
yeah.
can see. I don't see what she brings out in him. And again, from just a respectful viewer point of view, I can't see the fireworks.
Yeah, she just keeps him like
Yeah.
grounded and like.
And he thinks that he could win with her. I
Yeah,
think that's what's going
maybe.
on there. Which they might.
But I do genuinely think he does like her.
Oh, you do? Okay, yeah. No, I think he likes her, but I do think
Because
his
like
head-
even to us, even things he haven't seen, like
Yeah.
he has been talking about her like
Really?
she
Tell
is-
me what
she
he
is
said
the one.
that we haven't seen.
like she is like he'll pull us for chats and like Meg is like, there's no one that can compare on her level. Like for now, like she is.
For now, yeah.
Yeah, for now. Yeah, for now.
Keyword, for now.
For now is the key word.
So do you know what I've always wondered, right? You know when Maya Jama walks in, does everybody just like...
Oh God, we don't know until we hear the clock with her heels.
You actually genuinely don't
we
know?
don't know. Well, I think they tell us, or I can't remember. They tell us something, but
Yeah.
then all of a sudden we hear the clock.
And you're like, shit.
And all the lads are buzzing.
Well,
all the lads are buzzing.
This was my point. I was thinking that all the girls get a bit jealous because the guys must be like, forget you.
Yeah. All the lads are throwing comments. Don't worry, to Maya.
Really? Yeah, I can imagine. She's so beautiful.
Yeah, we've had to do a
isn't
couple
she?
takes before because we can't stay composed, and we just like actually just like dying.
She's too fit.
Yeah.
She's
we're
so
dying
fit.
not only because of that, because it's just so tense in the moment when she's walking
Yeah.
in. When she walks in, it's an intense moment.
Yeah,
So
'cause
we're
you
supposed
know.
to be serious and stuff, but we're all looking at each other and trying not to laugh. Do you know in that moment?
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and we're actually crying. So sometimes we have to actually like do it again, like
Yeah.
because we're not taking it seriously.
And the recoupling takes a while, apparently. I've heard
Yeah,
this
it
before.
does, it
Is it like
does.
3 hours or
I
something?
don't know about 3 hours. I think maybe an hour or an hour and a half.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
not sure. You have no clue about time.
Yeah, you just have no clue, do
have
you?
no- But I do know when you're standing there, you're standing there for a while.
Yeah,
When your
for
legs
sure.
are. Yeah.
I
when
know. I can kind of see it in everyone's faces. They're like, hurry up.
Yeah, especially when I was just about to leave, I knew I was going to be the last one to like be standing. I was like, this is going to be long.
Oh, no. So when you leave the villa, how does it work? Do you just leave straight away?
Yeah, you
literally?
go. Yeah, you pack up your bags.
And you just straight away gone?
You jump into a cab and you go to the holding villa.
God, that is savage.
Yeah.
So you had no connection with Alima romantically, but what happened with Shakira? Because I know you had a kiss in the hideaway, didn't you?
So Shakira, she's a lovely girl.
She's
and
my favourite girl.
Yeah, she's fiery as well, which I like.
Yeah.
And so going in there, I had my eyes on Megan, like attractiveness. She's my like go-to.
Yeah. She's
And
beautiful
also
too.
on the opposite side, I was Helena as well. So it's like completely two different girls.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. I
So-
know. That is actually completely
Yes,
different.
it's completely
But
different.
hair,
That's
but-
why on my interview I said I had no type because it's what I find attractive.
I find it weird when people have just like a type in a box and it's always down to hair colour. Like,
Yeah, I'll go with Dejon's reference.
What was
Beautiful inside and out.
that is so vague. I love that. So you can just like everyone.
Yeah.
So what happened with Shakira? Did that kind of fizzle out? Or?
So basically, what happened is she was pulling me for chats, and she wasn't on my top 3. I'll put it that way. Yeah.
Yeah.
So like, I kind of like just didn't think too much of it.
Yeah.
And then she was trying to graft everyone because she was like vulnerable.
Yeah.
So she was trying to like pull me for chats, which I was talking to her, but I wasn't like really opening up to her. I was just like, kind of holding myself. It was also
Yeah.
day 2.
Of course.
And so I get into a place, I need to observe, I need to like find myself a little bit before I can be myself. And so that's what I kind of struggled with at the beginning. So there was not much drama involved in my few days there.
Of course.
Because I didn't get time to settle in really. But she was pulling me for chats, and we had good chats. And then it got to like her choosing who was going to be like recoupled with her. And I stood up. I thought, I'm going to stand up because I don't have a connection romantically with Alima, but I'd like to explore something with Shakira. So I stood up, and she was not expecting that.
Really?
Yeah, she was not expecting that at all because I wasn't giving her anything to work with.
Who else stood up? It was you.
It was me,
Harry?
Connor, and Harry.
Yeah. Okay.
And she went with Harry, I think.
Yes. Oh wait, is that when she went with Harry?
Yeah, she went with Harry, and that's why Sophie was dumped.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So she went with Harry, and Sophie was dumped.
And then Harry went back to Helena.
Yeah.
And then back to.
Yeah.
He's going to do it again.
Yeah,
do you think he's going to do it?
Yeah, he's going to do it again. Yeah, he's gonna get to the final with Helena for sure.
Do you think?
Yeah, for sure.
Who do you want to win?
I'm kind of rooting for Harry and Helena, you know.
Really? Oh, I don't really know.
No, but you know what? I want Tommy to win. I love Tommy. Tommy's the boy, and I think if anyone can win it, he can definitely win it with Emily.
Tommy's so nice, but I think he's too safe. I don't know.
He's not purposely like that. I think he's just
genuinely like that. Yeah.
Like that.
And
he's
his girl is Emily,
nice
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know about that though. I don't think.
Do you know? I think they look good together.
I do, but I don't. I think he likes her more than she likes him. I don't know. There's a lot of place holding going on.
Yeah, because he was put in a difficult position where he had to kind of go with Emily, and it looks like that. It might not be like that.
Absolutely, yeah. Things look a certain way.
Yeah.
Shakira's my favourite girl. I kind of want her and Harry to win, but I just can't work Harry out. One minute I think, nah, he's not going to go back to Helena. Then the next minute I do. But he's definitely movie night.
Yeah.
You know, movie night when they show. I cannot wait. It's all going to be Harry.
Hopefully they do that this year because I don't think they do it all the time.
I think they do now. The last few years they do. I just think Dejon's going to be in shit. Harry's going to be in shit, but he's used to that.
Yeah. The thing is, he can talk his way out of it. It doesn't matter.
How does he do that?
I don't know.
Even with me, like I don't really like toxic men. I'm like, no. And at first I didn't like Harry, but I love him now.
Yeah,
even though he's
great.
so
He's
toxic.
just like that. He's like,
I know.
Yeah.
I think he, like, without getting too deep, he's probably got a lot of demons where he can't fully commit to something, and it always goes back to childhood and things like that. So you're rooting for Harry and Helena, even though they're not together yet. But he's going to fuck about in Casa Amor.
Yeah, I know.
And Helena's still going to be there.
Yeah.
I actually know Helena. I met her years and years ago.
Really?
She's lovely and she looks great. So yeah, I do wish her the best. So speaking of childhoods, can we go over yours?
Sure, yeah.
So tell everyone where you're from. Well, you're Spanish as well, aren't you?
Yeah, no, so I'm not Spanish.
Okay.
So I was born in London, and at the age of 1, my parents sold everything in London and moved to Spain for a better future, for a better, like, lifestyle.
Yeah, I mean it's much better over there.
Yeah, for sure. Like they wanted us to have a better lifestyle.
Whereabouts?
So we grew up in Marbella.
Really?
Yeah. So I was born in London, raised in Marbella.
Yeah.
And went to Spanish school. Had like the whole Spanish.
So you're fluent.
I'm fluent Spanish. I went to Spanish school. There was no private English schools. And I wasn't sipping Ribenas in my in my breaks like a lot of the other posh boys, but. Yeah, I had a great upbringing in Spain.
Yeah.
I went to Spanish school. My Spanish school was it was completely different. Like I was the immigrant of the class, right? There was I had Spanish people shouting across the class. I had all of that going on. Like doing homework in Spanish was just completely like.
Was everything Spanish?
Everything was Spanish.
So it wasn't
so
like
it was kind of my first language, realistically, because that's what I grew up learning.
That's
but
so
I was
cool.
still the English kid.
Yeah.
So I was So
even though you were speaking Spanish the whole time. So how long were you in school in Spain for?
For 17 years.
Your whole school life?
My whole school life, yeah.
Wow. Yeah. So when did you move back here?
I moved back here when I was 17.
Okay.
So 16 really. Realistically, I was in school for 16 years.
Yeah.
Because I went there when I was 1 and then stayed there until I was 17. Then I moved back to London. I did college in Kingston. And then from there I went to Oxford Brookes University and I studied there for 5 years.
Oh, amazing. I love Oxford. I grew up there. I went to school there.
Yeah.
So cool there, isn't it? So why did you come back here from Spain? Was that your parents' choice?
My family still live there.
Oh,
so they've got their business out there and they are happily living out there. I came back for my career. I came back to better myself because over there there's no career really over there.
Yeah,
like you come over here to do your degree, and then after my degree I was like, where's best to make money? London,
absolutely.
So I came to London and I've just been grinding out as a construction project manager.
That's so cool. So what does that entail? So what's your day to day like?
My day to day is so it's going around London. I've got multiple sites to
Mm-hmm.
look after, literally managing all the subcontractors, the day-to-day responsibilities, as in like program planning, achieving timelines,
So sick.
achieving all your goals really for like a successful project,
Yeah, for
construction project. And I loved it. Don't get me wrong, I loved it, and I'd definitely like do it. If I was to go back and do it again, I'd happily do it. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't something that I woke up and thought, no, I don't want to do that. I did enjoy going back. Like I wasn't being micromanaged. Like that was the best part about it.
Mm-hmm.
I was managing my own projects.
Yeah.
Managing my own deadlines and timelines. It was all sick.
Yeah, well, that was going to be my next question. Would you go back to it? Are you going to? What are your plans work-wise?
I would. It's not something I don't like, and I definitely would consider it.
It's like nice to have it there that you can go back to.
For sure.
Yeah.
Like I've still got contact with everyone in all my previous jobs that I've had.
For sure.
And everyone still phones me up to see how I'm doing and stuff.
Yeah.
So that's quite nice. Like, I even got a call from a recruiter yesterday asking how it was. Like, if you need a job, like, I've got one for you. Like,
sick. So you could just dip in and out if you want to.
I could, definitely. But obviously, coming out of this whole new experience, I need to
make the most of it
and see where it takes me. It's given me a lot of exposure. Like, I've obviously come out with like a really good name on what I've done in there so far.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna use that to as much as I can.
Yeah, strike while the iron's hot. Just get yourself out there.
Yeah, for sure. And I've got a lot of people contacting me for modelling and
I was just gonna
fashion,
say, do you model?
brand deals, and all of that. So I'm definitely gonna make the most of much that I can.
Well, it's
and
good
also trying to show people like who I truly am, because on the show I didn't get to show that. I was only just like settling in.
Of course,
and the stuff that I did wasn't shown because there was no storyline to it.
Yeah.
And I did end things way too soon, which is what people seen and probably call me boring for it. But that's not who I am.
So have you been getting trolled?
I haven't.
Everyone gets a bit.
Yeah, I've got a little bit.
Yeah.
A lot of people have called me out for being racist, which is not. I'm not a racist. Like, I'm not racist at all.
People love to say that.
I'm also half Persian, half Italian. You know what I mean? Like, I've grown up in a foreign country. Like, I know how that feels. There's not one like racist bone in my body.
Just because you didn't have a connection with Alima.
Just because I said that she wasn't my type. Yeah.
It's crazy.
No,
These days
crazy.
you can't say anything without people saying all these words. But the thing is with shows like Love Island and the ones that I were on is it's a constant fight for airtime. So unless you're acting up or got a serious connection, you kind of get lost in the background. But that's why it's good to do things like this and just like get your personality out there. So I want to just ask, so when you moved back to England when you were 16, where did you live?
17.
17.
Yeah, so I moved back when I was 17. I moved over with my ex.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, so you were together.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I lived there for the past four years.
Okay, so that was a long relationship.
Relationship at a young age.
Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah.
Really? So how long was it?
It was 5-year relationship.
So you met her in Spain?
I met her in Spain, moved over a year later.
Okay.
And I moved in with my brother and
That's so cool. Yeah. Oh, so your brother lives here?
My brother lived, so he did a college in Kingston as well.
Yeah, okay.
So then when we both finished college at the same time, he went to uni, I went to uni.
How old is he?
He's 27, 28.
Oh, okay, so
28
older
this
than
month,
you.
yeah.
Fair. So can we talk about your mum's sex shop?
Yeah, of course. It's called Boudoir Erotic Boutique. It's in Marbella.
Tell them exactly where it is.
It's
so
in front of the Hard Rock Hotel, Marbella.
Love that.
It is one of the best sex shops you'll ever go into.
In the world.
Make sure you go in there.
Love that. So from a very young age, so your mum had it since you're about 6 then, 20 years, you're 26,
yeah,
right? So.
Yeah, about, maybe about 8.
Yeah.
So almost 20 years.
So did you know what it was?
So it's just a complete, to me,
normal.
It's completely normal. It's like, you never really thought about it, right? The only time I did think about it was when people were like, your mum's got a sex shop. I was like, your mum buys the most fucked up shit in there.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like,
that is the best comeback ever.
Yeah, it's like, But for me, I obviously kept that in, and that's not something that I was going to ruin. I was not going to ruin a business for some stupid comments. It made me who I am as a person today.
Yeah.
It's made me super open talking about sex, and I think a lot of people should be like that. Like a lot of people come to my mum or come to me and talk about stuff that maybe they wouldn't talk about with their parents because back then it was much more taboo than it is nowadays.
Absolutely.
And I think nowadays it's become less and it's become like people see that I've got a section on that's fucking wicked. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly. It's
which
a cool
it is
thing.
fucking wicked.
Yeah, it's so
I am
cool.
fucking proud.
So it never affected you when you were younger?
No, never. In fact, it made me more open, made me
Yeah.
more confident and know what I want and how to talk about things that I maybe do want, maybe don't want. I've seen things in the shop that would make your nan blush. Do you know what I mean? Like,
what's the craziest thing that's in the shop?
The craziest thing? Oh, there's so many, but I can tell you a few. Like,
Yeah,
we've had people walking in there like hands and knees with a bunch of money in their mouth, like asking for them to be put into a cage and just humiliated.
In the sex shop?
Yeah.
Oh
Bear in mind, it's just a store where you go in and like buy toys.
I was going to say, is it like a actual shop with people in? That
No,
not like Amsterdam.
No.
Okay.
It's not. We're not comparing our store to Amsterdam
No.
stores. Yeah.
So it's literally just
it is
to
all
purchase.
about like
Yeah.
Like it's a luxurious, it's a nice boutique where people go in and whoever's in there will make you feel comfortable, give you the tour, understand what you want, and what you haven't tried and may want to try, because a lot of people don't actually know what they want until they try it, right? It's like
they don't know how freaky they are.
If you don't like broccoli, if you don't know you like broccoli until you try, you don't know if you like it.
No,
do you know what I mean?
exactly. That's what I always say to people.
Yeah.
I'm like, try this. They're like, no. I'm like, you don't know if you don't like it
exactly.
or like it. Yeah,
It's true.
So
And
somebody went in there on their hands and knees.
Yeah.
With money in their hand.
Multiple in their mouth.
In their mouth.
But like.
On their own.
Yeah.
And said, what?
But bear in mind, these are like high-profile names as well. It's just crazy. Yeah.
Can you say any of them?
Sorry?
Can you say?
No.
What else? What else?
So recently I've seen like people buy a butt plug. So like people buying a butt plug and sticking it straight up their ass as soon as they're walking out of the shop. Like when I was 18, I remember this clearly. I was 16 at the time. I got a phone call from my mum and she's like, someone's just come in and stolen a cock cage. I'm like,
a what?
A cock cage.
What's that?
So it's a cage.
You put your dick in.
Yeah, you put your dick in and you lock it and you can't get hard on, basically.
Yeah, that's for people who like being humiliated and stuff, right?
Yeah. So this guy, bear in mind, he works around the corner.
Yeah.
So she's giving me a call and she's like, some guy's just nicked a cock cage from the shop. And I was like, you what? I was in school, right? And I phoned my mate. I was like, mate, let's go. My dad was abroad somewhere.
Yeah.
And she calls me. I'm like, all right, I'll call my mate. I'm like, we're going down to the shop right now. I know exactly where this guy is. So we pulled up like outside this tattoo shop, handbrake on. We get out. I walk in there. I'm like, mate, humiliated him in front of everyone. I was like,
well, he probably
you better
loved
give
it.
me that back, and you better give me 200 quid on top of that. If not, you're gonna be like fucked.
Yeah, exactly.
I waited in the car. He came out with 200 quid and gave me the cock cage. But I was like, yeah, this guy's fucking massive. I was like, I'm gonna humiliate the fuck out of you, mate.
He probably did it on purpose, so he did.
Well, it's just it's crazy.
Yeah.
But there's multiple stories that come out of that shop, and
Yeah.
like, so yeah, growing up, I've always heard these stories, and it's just made me think like, there's a lot of people that are all complete on the other side and actually don't know anything about it. So
yeah.
My theory is like, you should definitely explore, see what you like, see what you don't like. A lot of men nowadays don't actually talk about sex in a way that's not banter.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
give an example of bantering it, but then what would you say is the alternative? To just talk normally about it as like a serious topic instead of making a joke out of it all the time?
Exactly. Yeah. So sex is an intimate thing, right? And you want the other person to have the best experience they can have, because you don't want to come out of there and have like the girl thinking, oh, that was fucking terrible.
Yeah, some guys don't care though.
Some guys don't care, but like
they should.
Some guys do.
But vice versa too.
Yeah,
vice
versa too. But it works both ways. I think the guy should communicate as to what he likes. The girl should communicate what she likes.
Yeah.
And there might be some differences there, but you'll find a way to make it work. And if I go in that, I would want to know how to pleasure a girl, how to pleasure you specifically, and to make your experience better. You're like, because it is an important thing in a relationship, especially.
Absolutely, it's such a breath of fresh air hearing you say that, because even me in my past sexual relationships, I haven't felt like I could say anything. I mean, my more recent couple of boyfriends, I have said, this is how I like it, this is how I want you to do it, and I ask, how do you want me to do that? Because not everybody likes things the same.
But I think that's a turn on. I think if you tell me like, that's a turn on.
Because I don't want to do it and you're thinking, oh, this is shit.
Yeah,
I'd rather just know.
I hate that. Like,
and everybody likes it totally different.
Yeah, like some girls don't even know if they prefer like stimulation or penetration.
Yeah.
It's like,
you can say what you want, by the way. Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
And some guys like a really hard hand job and some like a really slow, soft one. And I'm like,
just tell me what you want.
Yeah. So, did you say any of this in the villa?
No, I didn't get my chance to.
No. Did you talk about the sex shop?
I did, yeah. But everyone found out quite quickly. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. So say your relationship. So you're obviously not in a relationship now,
No,
are you? Just come out of the villa. Are you still looking for love, or are you looking for?
I'm open.
Open to the right person.
I'm open, yeah.
I think it's better not to look. It's just better to kind of.
I think things just fall into place.
What are your DMs saying now?
You naughty girls.
I'm surprised you saw mine inviting you on here. I was like, it's probably jumbled up in all your. Yeah, what have you seen?
I've seen some crazy stuff. Yeah.
As in,
like, I don't think girls could be that wild, but Jesus Christ, yeah. Like, I know they're that wild, but so openly like that, I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Are they sending you videos and stuff?
Yeah, videos and like pictures. I'm like, whoa, hello, mate. It's 9 o'clock on a Monday.
Why didn't this happen in Love Island? Literally. I do want to ask actually about the current people that have come out of the villa. So you've got Meg, Ramel, Shay. Am I missing anyone? You, Sophie. Yeah. Was there
Caprice,
anything?
Poppy.
I loved them. I actually quite liked them. Melisha. Oh yeah, Melisha.
So I went out for dinner with all of them the other night.
Yeah.
Bar Poppy and
Caprice.
Sophie.
Oh, Sophie. Was there anything romantic with you and Sophie?
No. It was all platonic. Like she is great. I love Sophie.
Yeah, she's cool.
Sophie's a great girl, and
Yeah.
she's got like a really good head on her shoulders. We get along super well, and she's like she calls me her little sister, and I call her my big brother.
So many fucking sisters from that villa you've got. So is there any sort of potential love from any of the islanders that have come out?
No.
Okay.
No.
What about with each other?
What do you mean?
As in any of the others with each other, like is Ramel and Poppy?
So Ramel and Poppy, I think there could be something there.
Yeah.
And Caprice and Shay, there could be something there as well.
So they actually match.
Yeah, I seen them. I was out with them the other night.
Yeah,
and they were getting along.
They look good together. Ramel, so when he left, it was because he was messing around. Is that right? No.
He left. He left because he wanted to pursue things with Alima.
Yeah. But what was the I'm just trying to remember all the dumpings. What was the final reason why he left?
So Ramel was
voted bottom. That was it, wasn't it?
So Ramel was in their sleepover with Poppy and promising Poppy that he was going to be coupled up with her.
Absolutely.
And then it got to recoupling, and he picked Alima. And then from that, he got voted out.
So that was a vote out. So him and Poppy, there could be something on the horizon.
There could be, but she's fuming that she didn't get picked.
Is she still fuming?
Yeah, she's fuming. But to be fair, if he was
fair play,
if she was picked, he would be out, and she would still be in there, I think. Say that again. So if she was to get picked by Ramel would probably still be out because it was a public decision.
True, very true.
So she would still be in there.
Yeah,
so she would be grafting someone else right now.
Yeah, exactly. And Alima was very popular, I believe. I really like her. I think she carries herself really well and
she stands on ground.
Yeah, and she did hold herself well because Ramel was a bit naughty when he went there.
Yeah,
he was definitely a bit naughty. So yeah, I can see why. Okay, so I just want to ask some other kind of questions. So what gives you the ick in a relationship, in a girl, on a date, whatever?
Okay, so what gives me the ick is probably someone that doesn't have like a license.
What, a driving license? Well, even if they're young, do you have a limit, obviously?
No, it depends on the situation, but like I think, I mean, me growing up in Spain, I think you need your license to get about. Like, how are you going to get
Yeah,
about?
yeah. I mean, did you have a license, or did you drive from young?
Yeah. As soon as I could, I was driving.
What, 12?
No, 18.
Okay.
But I was on a motorbike by the age of 14.
Yeah.
So I was always about.
Oh, sick.
I think I don't really have. I probably do, but I don't write them down like a lot of people do. Do you know what
exactly.
I mean? I think I've had a couple licks which is like spitting. You know when you wake up in the morning, and you spit in the sink,
and they leave it,
and it's blue, and it's like, come on, mate,
out.
really? That for me is just like, turn the tap on, mate.
I know. My ick's brushing teeth though. I need a guy to brush their teeth at least twice a day.
Yeah.
Because some people
and
don't.
flossing.
Yeah, of
And
course.
flossing.
Yeah, and flossing, exactly.
Get the floss out.
So what's your biggest turn on?
My biggest turn on is when a girl actually knows what she wants.
Mm-hmm.
I like sexual noises.
Love that. And when they ask you what you like.
Yeah.
That's a good one. What would your ideal first date be?
My ideal first date. That's a good question, isn't it? I'm just thinking about my dates.
It could be one that hasn't happened. I'm trying to think what mine would be, to be fair. I'm quite a chilled person, though. I think for me, the dinner thing, I don't really like it until you properly know someone.
So I was going to say that, yeah. Normally it would be like drinks, get to know the person.
Chill,
it's awkward eating in front of someone you don't really know.
I don't like that.
Sometimes I've done it before. I don't mind it. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly.
But I prefer to just just go for some casual drinks.
Yeah,
see how I feel about you.
Yeah.
And then if I actually like you, let's go for dinner and we'll have like a proper romantic dinner.
Exactly, because I think if you don't like them, just have one drink and go. But
Yeah,
if you're sat there
you
and you've got if you've got a 3-course meal,
I can't do that though. I'm too nice. I'm like, right, we'll finish this.
I couldn't do it. I don't know. I just feel I've got to go.
Yeah. Fair.
I just find it awkward sitting in front of someone. Like, you know, when people go on first dates, like Novikov and stuff. Like my friends do it all the time, and they're like, "Oh, I met this guy on Hinge." I'm like, you don't even know who you're about to sit in front of.
I can't do Novikov on a first date because it's too loud.
Yeah, it is fucking loud.
It's too loud.
Yeah. But yeah, for me, I like a more chilled date. So yeah, for you, same kind of thing.
Yeah.
Would you do anything different if you went back in the villa? I think you've half answered that.
Yeah,
but
I'd be more open with the people around me and not cut things off straight away. Mm-hmm. Explore connections that I probably wouldn't do on the outside world.
Yeah.
And remember, it's Love Island, so we've got to make the most of what we can.
Yeah.
And it's something that I didn't do, and I wish I did.
Maybe be a bit more cutthroat as well, and just
be more like how I am now. Do you know what I mean? I was just too like overthinking everything.
Yeah.
Because it's a new environment. You go in there, it's a new environment. You don't know. Mm-hmm. You're just kind of like afraid of what you might say, what you.
Yeah,
you know what
exactly. I mean? Yeah, and it's your first TV show, isn't it?
Yeah.
And would you go on other shows?
I would. Yeah, I'd definitely.
Do you have any that you'd like to go on?
I'm not too sure. Maybe Made in Chelsea.
You could actually.
Yeah, why
I
not?
can see you fitting into that. Do you know any of them?
No, I don't. No.
He's got to get friends with them.
No. I'm meeting some next week actually.
Are you?
Yeah, the White Fox
amazing.
Party.
Oh, that would be sick. You should definitely try and get on there. Celebs Go Dating would be quite good for you too.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that would be a good one. So, are there any other islanders of all Love Islanders that you want to date or?
Oh, do you know who I find really attractive?
Who?
Molly Smith.
Yeah.
And Grace.
So you like blondes?
See what I mean? I don't have a type.
Actually, yeah.
See what I mean?
I love Grace. I think she's
the only reason like I go for the types that when I say I've got a type, I'm basing it on my previous exes.
Of course, yeah.
And they've always been like brunettes, like dark features and just sexy.
Exactly. But you're still young, so you might like something completely random one day. The other day I realised I fancied someone that wasn't my type. So it's kind of like, yeah. Have you got any celebrities in your DMs?
I do, yeah. I can't mention them.
Have you? How many?
A few.
Oh my God. Have you met any of them?
Kind of, yeah.
You're going to have to tell me when we're not filming. I need to know. Have you always wanted to go on TV?
No, not really.
No.
So I think what happened was it's a big thing going on TV. It's a lot of like exposure, a lot of eyes on you, and at one time I was like, I've always been confident.
Yeah.
But when you're in the spotlight, you kind of think about your actions and what you.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just a complete different thing, and
It's
I didn't
completely
really.
different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I did X on the beach twice, and when I went in the first time, I literally was just so cool and chilled, and I didn't get any airtime. And they gave me a second chance, but if they didn't, my first time would have been shit.
That's what I
'cause
mean.
didn't
I was
do
too
anything.
chill. Everyone's like, "Oh, he's just too cocky
Yeah.
and confident walking about the villa, like he owns
But
a fucking gaff."
you think everyone's gonna be like, yeah, everyone's gonna know I'm so cool and chill, but actually you just don't get shown. That's the problem.
Yeah.
So next
the
time,
stuff that I did. So the best parts was the unseen bits when I'm
Yeah.
actually just being more myself instead of like
Absolutely.
these conversations that you're trying to force.
yeah.
And
Is there anything that was unseen that you wish was shown?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Tell me about those moments.
There was a challenge where I had to demonstrate 5 sexual positions with 5 different girls.
What?
Yeah.
That's mad.
And that wasn't aired, and I was like, that was all me. Do you know what I mean? That
With
was
5 different girls.
yeah. But like you're around the fire pit,
Yeah,
and you just got to
yeah.
do like 5 sexual positions
Yeah.
with 5 different girls. I was like, right, you, and everyone was like,
Oh my god! I
yeah,
wish
and that
they
didn't get
aired
aired, but
that.
there was no story to it. So like the one that it did air was me kissing Helena and then kissing Shakira after, saying, I
Yeah.
didn't kiss you in the challenge because I wanted to kiss you in it.
Yeah. Oh my
Do you see what,
god.
so there's no story back to it.
But was that in a challenge that they did show, or was
No,
that
no,
a whole?
no.
They didn't show the whole challenge.
No, they didn't show that challenge.
There's something I noticed when I was looking up you. Is that is your ring from Bali?
Yes,
You got it
yeah.
made in Bali.
How do you know that?
I looked it up.
What? Where?
On the internet, it says it.
No way.
Yeah. I shouldn't have said that. I should have just said, I just know.
Yeah.
So do you like to travel?
Yes, I do like to travel.
Where have you been? Where's your favourite?
I went to Bali last year. I went to Thailand this year.
Mm-hmm.
Thailand's been my favourite so far.
Really? What, over Bali?
Yes.
I love Bali.
Yeah.
I like both though. Where in Thailand though?
Thailand, Phuket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you been to Phi Phi Islands?
Yes.
That's my favourite.
It's good, but it's just overcrowded.
Yeah, for me, when I go to those kind of places, I just like the views. Like from
Yeah,
when
the
you
view's
walk out.
good, but like for a split second, right? Because then there's like a bunch of people behind.
I wasn't that crowded when I went there, but I went about 4 or 5 years ago. I think it's. Have you seen the
Now
film?
it's different.
Is it?
Yeah.
Really?
You're talking about the Mandala Bay, aren't you?
The beach.
Yeah,
Have
yeah.
you seen the film?
Yeah.
I think since then it's just got completely rammed. But I mean that was ages ago. So yeah. But I didn't go in a peak season. So tell me about your ring. You got it made in Bali.
I made it myself in Bali, yeah.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah, it's, Bali
What?
24.
Is that what it says on it?
Yeah.
How did you get it made? Just.
Well, you get a piece of silver.
Yeah.
You melt it down. You put it into like a
Yeah.
line, and you just roll it out.
Did you do it in like a workshop, or you just?
Yeah, I did it in a workshop.
Okay, cool.
There's like special places in Bali where
Yeah.
you can go and get gold.
That's so cool. So where else have you been to in the world that you like?
I've done America.
Mhm.
I've done the whole West Coast, Vegas, like the Arizona.
Yeah.
I've still got a lot of places to check off.
Where do you want to go next?
I want to go to Barbados. I want to go to Mexico. I've been to
Mexico's sick.
Mexico. Mexico's looks sick.
I just love Asia though. I think Bali's my favorite. I love Thailand though too. They're quite different though. People always think they're going to be very similar, but I find them quite different.
Bali and Thailand.
Yeah.
I think Thailand was much more cleaner.
I think the opposite.
Really?
Yeah. I think the beaches are nicer in Thailand though.
Yeah,
That's the thing.
That's what I'm talking about. Clean.
Oh, okay.
cleanliness.
Yeah. Beaches definitely, but I think Thailand as a whole, like the actual cities and stuff, not as. But I don't know. They're both sick. Asia's just one of my favorite places
Yeah,
to travel.
it is. Love Southeast.
So you've done LA and all of that.
Yeah.
I haven't done
I got
that.
family in LA.
Really?
Yeah, I got family in Dubai. I've got family like scattered all over the world.
So why are you here? Just work.
Work, money, yeah.
Is it not good in those places? Because fuck me, I wouldn't be here.
Well,
man.
there's opportunity, but right now I think I've got to stay in London.
Is London home to you, or do you still see Marbella as home?
Marbella's home.
Really?
Marbella's home. Like when I get off that plane and I smell that fresh air, I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, daddy's home.
Love that. How is it growing up there? Because obviously Marbella is like quite a party place, isn't it?
Yeah, so you obviously get the like. Everyone sees it as the luxury, like lifestyle, the yachts, the parties, all this, which you do get. But there's also another side to it people don't get to see, and that's the side that I know. Obviously now, as I've got a bit older, I've got more into that side.
The other side, yeah, I like that side now.
But there's a lot of other stuff to it.
Yeah,
Like
for sure.
I grew up like every weekend seeing like tourists getting pissed up and doing some mad shit.
Yeah.
But there's also another complete side to it. There's maybe half an hour away, you've got other like really nice spots that
I mean, it's beautiful,
I've grown
isn't
up. I've grown up around, so
Yeah.
that for me is home, and it's just
Yeah.
there's nothing that can beat it.
Do you think eventually you'll move back there?
Yeah, one day I'll definitely move back.
Yeah. Have you spoken to Grace or no? Molly's in a relationship.
Yeah,
they're both in relationships.
Yeah. So vulnerability is a good one. So like obviously the flirty side to me, the energy side, that's all true. And there's like the hard part for me is the vulnerability side, like trying to be more open. And I think that's what like I struggled with in the villa, like because I didn't want to be vulnerable in the villa. I didn't want to. I'm like that in real life, and I'm trying to be less like that.
Yeah.
So throwing myself in the deep end was like kind of.
Of course.
I like throwing myself in the deep end. I think throwing yourself in the deep end is a great way to overcome and succeed. So that was like my point of view as to. Trying to be more vulnerable.
Yeah, I mean, some people do find it difficult to be vulnerable. And of course, you're in a place where you're just surrounded by strangers. So you can't really just decide to open up and trust people. That must be difficult. But have you been hurt in the past with being vulnerable? Is that why you might find it difficult?
Yeah, I have been hurt in the past. Like, obviously, you open up to someone and then it just comes straight back into your face.
Yeah.
And it's subconscious. I've done therapy, and like therapy was unrelated to my struggles, right? I've done therapy, and I think therapy is a great way to understand yourself better and see who you really are.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Like not everyone thinks they need it, but it's
even
if you're not struggling, even if you're not struggling, go to therapy. Talk about me.
I always say this. Like you could literally think you're fine just talking to a stranger about stuff in your life that no one, like they're not on your side, but they're just hearing your version. They don't know the other people, and talking like over it is so good, and it's so like positive for mindset, I think.
Because then you put yourself in like the third person and you actually think about it in a complete different way.
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is something that a lot of people do, and I think nowadays people actually respect that you do that and you go to therapy, but there's also another side that just have no clue about it and just completely against it.
I mean, a lot of men would find it demasculating if they went to therapy.
Yeah, well, it's not at all.
It's not at all, because if you work on it's just working on yourself. Yeah. That's it. And if you work on yourself, you'll be a better person for yourself and for other people. And the whole love yourself before you love someone else. I used to think that was bullshit, but it's actually true. Like it genuinely is true. I'm just trying to find. I'm finding that out right now for myself. You know what I mean? Exactly. You have to kind of feel happy within yourself and not feel like you need anybody else to then have it and have it work. But I can understand why it's difficult to just suddenly be vulnerable in a place like that, because in the real world you wouldn't do that. You wouldn't just suddenly be vulnerable on your first date and stuff. But why? So do you think it's just come from your past relationships, or do you think did anything happen when you were a child that make you feel?
I think I opened myself up once with someone and it just completely threw me off guard. Yeah. And that kind of like hurt me in a way that I didn't really think about it. And then I think somewhat down the line that it was that maybe put me in all the relationships that I went further forward in a much difficult situation, getting into them and like actually opening up with the person.
For sure. Can you say what it is, or is it a bit deep?
Not so. Basically, I got with some girl that I didn't actually get into a relationship with her. Yeah. But it got quite serious real quick, and it's just such a weird situation because I got really liked her, really like deep feelings into her, and I thought the same back. And then all of a sudden she's in a relationship with someone else. I was like, what the fuck?
How long was it going on for, you and her?
Not even long, like 4 or 5 months, not even that.
But that's still a long time. This is why I get so like, all these terms like closed off, official, and then there's another one that's like doesn't mean you're actually together, but it's kind of situationship.
I've had a lot of them before.
Yeah,
but
it's
the reason being I've had a lot of situationships because of this, for sure, that situation. Yeah.
But what is it? So actually, relating back to the villa, what is the difference between being closed off and being in a couple?
It's just a way to say that I want to pull another girl for a chat and get to know her. It's a hard balance. You're in the villa and you want to get to know everyone. And if you say you're closed off, that means you're fully closed off. You can't be speaking to anyone else, and you don't want that.
No, exactly. But then why not be in a relationship?
Because if you are, what do you mean? Wait, what do you mean?
No, so like, what's the difference between being closed off and being boyfriend and girlfriend?
Oh, because there's a step. apparently now there's a step. There's like a
I
there's
just don't.
there's levels to it,
I
Jem.
don't get the step. It's like I think it's
Because
just
it's super like set
commitment.
on. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
commitment issues that a lot of
Yeah,
people
it is.
have. Yeah.
I'm like that though. I don't want to go straight into that.
No, same.
I'd rather have a little like, okay, exclusive. That's the other word. I'd rather
Well,
have
I actually don't know about that. You know, I prefer just stepping away from all of that and actually just saying, look, listen,
that. Are we getting with anyone else or not?
you can be my girlfriend or not. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it's one or it's black or white really. There's no like if
That's-
you're in between, you're gonna be looking around.
Yeah, like we're exclusive, but we're not that.
And
so
then,
I
and
still
then
can.
how long is it before you actually get into a relationship?
Yeah,
is the question. Do
you
you
could
know
be
what I mean?
exclusive for a year, and
my
then
last
what?
my last relationship, I was seeing the girl for like 6 months before I got into a relationship.
It's
I was
too
like,
long.
she was like, well, it needs to be serious before I get into it. I was like, 6 months serious? Huh? What? Hello?
It's definitely a fear of commitment, that step.
Yeah.
And I think that, I mean, when I was younger, I got into relationships so quickly and easily. But as I've got older, it's like, oh, I don't know. You like kind of put your toe in and then just like, oh, where are we?
And then dip.
Yeah, exactly. But they do love to throw that word around the villa. So do you think that Dejon and Meg are going to be exclusive soon? Because it's about time.
I don't know, you know. I think he's going to keep beating
Drag
around the
it
bush for a
out.
little bit. Yeah,
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with Billy Kiss, and then we'll be able
Yes!
to decide.
What do you think's going to happen?
I think, I don't know. I didn't watch last night's episode, so I'm not too sure. But I watched
You didn't watch the challenge?
No, I watched the insights, so I know there was some tension there, and
Yeah.
he got a lot of like backlash for it.
Yeah, they
so
had
I
a
think he's
little
going to be
argument.
annoyed at Billy Kiss. So I don't think as much is going to happen from it.
I think that, yeah, he will be annoyed at her, but I think she'll pull him and apologise, and then they might have a bit of banter.
And then take to the hideaway.
Yeah, no, not the hideaway. I feel sorry for Meg, though, because I just can't see it lasting on the outside. Have you got any memories of other Love Island series that you've watched that I don't know, people that you've liked to watch? Not in a relationship-y way, but...
Not really. I found Ronnie really funny.
So funny.
Yeah, he is funny, and
He was a bit like Harry.
Yeah.
Just like bouncing around the girls. So talk to me about your martial arts. What do you do? What martial arts?
So my whole life, I've grown up around martial arts. I've done kickboxing fights. I've done boxing fights, and now this year I've got into Brazilian jiu-jitsu.
Really?
So like my brother and my dad do Brazilian jiu-jitsu like full time. They're fully committed to it, and
oh God, that's amazing.
and they're sick. So I've grown up around that side of the sports, and my dad has also done like promotions or MMA promotions back in Spain.
Oh,
so I've always
amazing.
been like helping like set them up and always with the fighters, and we're just like really like advocates of martial arts. We just love it.
So no one can fuck with you, basically.
No, it's taught us like a lot of discipline, and a lot of respect, be humble, and ego. So like right now, I started Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu this year. I train twice a week, and you kind of just lose your ego. You go in there, you can get choked out by someone half the size of you.
Yeah.
And
Skill,
it's just all respect, it's all love, and it's something that's great. That's why I challenged Shay for a wrestling.
Oh yeah!
I was like, man, I'm gonna take you on, bro.
And did they know?
I was like, I'm not gonna have an arm wrestle with you because you're twice the size of me, but I'll take you in the garden, mate.
Is he massive? He looks so
he's big.
tall.
Yeah, he's big.
What, like 6'4" or something?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So, which is your favourite martial art? Do you have one that you like the most, or which is one you're best
MMA.
at?
So that's not what I do, but I love watching it. I love watching all types of shows related to MMA. So UFC, Bellator, PFL. There's a lot of Octagon as well. Shout out to Octagon.
Would you ever do like a professional fight?
No.
Or like a Misfits fight or anything?
I'll do Misfits fights. Actually, I would.
Yeah,
get me
don't say
involved.
no.
Get me involved.
Exactly.
No, I would. Sorry, I thought you meant like. I definitely would.
Yeah.
I think now it's different. Now I can fully commit to working and spending time training.
Yeah.
As opposed to before I had a 9 to 5, it's just much more difficult.
Yeah. Jiu-jitsu's mad though. Like you said, it's so full of discipline, isn't it? And I've been to one jiu-jitsu class before. I need to go back. But
Never again.
No, it wasn't because I just kind of like too busy. But I do want to, and I do boxing and things. But I think that's really interesting. That makes sense why you offered him the wrestling fight. They should have made that happen.
I know. Well, they didn't want any aggression.
Yeah, but it's wrestling.
Yeah, I know.
But fair. Or did you have jobs in Spain?
Yeah.
When you were growing up?
Yeah.
So when you were growing up before you came over here to do your degree, what kind of jobs were you doing out there?
So like growing up, I've always been around businesses with my parents. My dad's just an entrepreneur. Anything he gets hands on, he's involved in it. So he's had multiple supermarkets. Ever since I could get my hands on like working, I'd always be in there weekends, like holidays. I'd always be helping him out, helping my mum out, doing like anything I could. Would always be working. So a lot of the times I did spend my times in the shops, not the sex shop, because you want to feel comfortable, especially a younger boy. It's not going to work really. But in the supermarket, like, also it's a great way to meet girls in that supermarket.
Was it?
Yeah.
Well, as a young, how old are you?
Well, this was like even like 4 years ago. Every summer, obviously between uni, I'd go back to and help them out in the shop and be behind the till. Like,
really?
And there's loads of girls coming in from the Hard Rock and
or like in their bikinis and stuff.
Yeah. Putting it on me, I'm like, all right, sweet.
I love it. Can I have some more shifts, please?
Yeah.
Do you like Ibiza? Do you ever go to Ibiza?
I've never been to Ibiza.
What?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
It's good.
We're all going with the boys, and all the OGs are going to go in September for the closing.
Really? Oh yeah, you've got to go.
Yeah.
I always feel like Marbella and Ibiza are like two polar
hand in
opposites.
hand, right?
Yeah, or they're kind of like opposites.
Well,
though.
one's more chill, one's more
hectic. Yeah, exactly, and like all the super clubs and stuff.
Yeah.
But I love.
Don't get me wrong,
Ibiza.
I do love an
Yeah, me too.
I'm going to one tomorrow, actually.
Are you? Where are you going?
Michael Beebe.
Where?
In it's southeast.
Oh my god, I didn't know that was on.
Yeah,
I love
it's popping,
Bibi.
yeah.
He's so sick.
Sick.
Who else do you like?
Chris Stussy.
Oh my god, where is it? Is it a festival
It's
outside?
Silverworks. Because it's going to be massive. It's going to be like 30,000 people there.
Oh my god, I
Yeah.
might have to look that up.
Yeah.
What was I going to say? You don't have clubs like that in Marbella, though, do you? Like with
You do, but they're more like bougie.
Yeah.
It is a bit more pretentious, I can't
Yeah,
lie. But there's other places you can go where it's not, and I don't know. It's not. You can go to pretentious places. Doesn't mean you have to be pretentious, right?
Yeah. No. Exactly. Yeah. It's all you're still by the sea and by the beach.
I've
you
grown
can
up
be
around
chill.
going to clubs like at 16 with all like your mates and the bottles and thinking you're the B's and E's, but realistically, mate, you've all just chipped in for a little bit of vodka.
With the sparklers.
yeah.
Oh, I love that. So when you go back to Marbella, it must bring loads of memories back.
Yeah, it does.
Have you been back since Love Island?
I haven't. I've just been here.
Yeah. Have you been getting stopped everywhere?
I get stopped. It's crazy. You come out and like everyone knows who you are, what you like.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the sex shop owner. You know what I mean? Ian Sterling loved that. Every 2 minutes he was like, oh, talking about my mum's sex. I was like, fair enough, man. At least plug the name.
Exactly. He needs to be saying the name. At least you plugged it here.
Plug the name.
But so when you're getting recognised in public, are girls like throwing themselves at you?
Yeah, so that's been a weird thing,
so
right?
hard.
I've actually gone away from it a little bit. I'm like, no, like you just want to get in my pants just because you know who I am.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is probably like weird. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, but are you a bit wary of it now?
Yeah, 100%. I'm definitely wary of it, and it's thrown me back a little bit. And
yeah.
I haven't. Yeah, it's just been weird. You come out and then all of a sudden everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because yours is literally from nobody knew before and then now everyone, and it's not even like a gradual thing. No, so yeah, that must be mad.
Yeah. I mean, I've gone to events now and like people come up to me and like people I know their faces. I'm really bad with names, so I know who they are, but I don't know. Exactly. And they come up to me, you're right, Blue. I'm like, what the hell? That's weird to me. That's weird. Yeah.
And people must feel like they know you because they've watched you.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Last thing I want to talk about, I know we've already spoke about it, but Harry and Shakira and Helena, like what the fuck's gonna happen? I know.
Shakira.
I love her.
Yeah.
Do you like her?
I like her. Yeah, she's good. She's a good crack. But I think Harry is gonna go back with Helena.
But do you think he'll go back with Helena and stay with Helena? I think there's a lot.
Hectic Harry, hectic Helena, and hectic Harrison at the minute.
Hectic. That's so good. Hectic Harry, hectic Helena. I do think that there's a lot more to come from Harry. I think he's going to mess around a lot more. I think Helena's going to wait for him. Sadly, I feel like she deserves.
I think that's the way to win it.
What?
To mess about a little bit and then actually like get together towards the end and then.
Yeah, either that or stay from the start.
But it depends how the votes go in the end. If it's public
very
voting,
true. And do you feel when you're in there, do you feel like it's very controlled by the production?
It's not actually. A lot of people ask me that. A lot of people say like, how produced is it? For me, it wasn't really produced. They kind of like help you say, okay, you've had this conversation with this person. Do you want to go and have a conversation with this person? Obviously, to make a storyline, because it doesn't make sense if not.
Of course,
and for people to understand. But like, they will never push you to do anything that you don't want to do. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to do it.
It's funny because I've interviewed, or I know some islanders, and I've interviewed some, and some of them say it's so controlled, and like they basically tell you to do stuff or tell you who to pick. So is that not true from your experience?
For me, no, not at all. I don't know, maybe further down the line, but I don't believe so.
Yeah, well, that's good though. That's really good.
I think they do help you in everything that you want. They do.
For sure.
They do help you.
And when you're around the fire pit, I've always wanted to know this. Do you know who you're picking or do you not know until you actually stand up? Or do you have to tell the producers who you're going to pick?
Well, I didn't get to that stage.
Sorry.
Cheers, Jem.
Sorry. No, but you was around the fire pit.
I was around the fire pit, yes.
Okay, you didn't.
I was around the fire pit. But so me standing up for Shakira,
okay,
I knew that was going to happen.
You knew that was going to
Yeah, I
happen.
knew that was gonna
Do you have to tell them you're going to stand up?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. Okay, so they probably do. Because I always see the order in which people pick. And it's like, because obviously, for example, Helena, say Harrison and Harry both want her, and they'll make the person stand up who they want to pick her, maybe.
Wait, say that again?
So say the girls are stood up and the boys are choosing.
Yeah.
They'll make the person who they want to couple up with Helena stand up first. So say Harry and Harrison both
no, you stand up whenever you want.
Oh, you do?
I think so, yeah.
Oh my
Because I stood up whenever I wanted.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
was the first one to stand up.
Yeah, I love that.
I jumped up like, pick me!
I love Yasmin though. I really want her connection to blossom more because she would be great
We
to
should
win
start
it.
taking notes from her posture, right?
Oh my God, I know.
Yeah.
How does she do? Is she like that all the time?
I don't know
you
that
weren't in there,
much.
but yeah, she literally is like this.
She is literally, yeah.
I'm so bad, like I'm just so.
I know, I'm just
yeah.
so chill as well.
I love that. I've absolutely loved having you on, Blue.
I loved being here.
Thank you so much for sharing all of that. I feel like we could have gone on more and more about your childhood and stuff. But yeah, is there anything else you want to add?
No, I don't. I think we've covered everything.
You need to go back in for
There's
more.
probably more that we've missed out on.
Yeah.
To be fair, but we've got caught up in other things.
Yeah, I reckon you need to go back in though, for sure.
Thank
and
you.
Yeah, amazing. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Woo!